Believe it or not, I know the exact reason you're in the exact same spot you've been in for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I know the exact reason you're not where you want to be and your life hasn't changed to the degree you know it could be changing. And that is the fear of failure. The fear of failure is stopping you right now. The fear of failure is something we all deal with to a certain degree. Today, I want to talk about the fear of failure. What are we even afraid of? Why do we keep letting the fear of failure stop us from achieving what we could be achieving, from creating the life of our dreams? My name is Dominic. If you don't know who I am, I'm an online fitness coach that helps pilots, lawyers, entrepreneurs, CEOs, you name it, get into the best shape of their life. And in episode 24 today, I want to talk about the fear of failure, why it's stopping us, and my thinking framework in basically selling myself in getting over it and taking action regardless. I came to this topic when I had a conversation with my brother and we were talking, and he was mentioning, because I know he's been wanting to do this for a long time, and that is starting his own YouTube channel. And I know that is his dream. Like, it's his dream to start his own YouTube channel. And someone who's created content myself, I can relate, because you make an impact and it's super powerful because you get to create and it's just so fun. And I was like, bro, what's stopping you? Why haven't you done it yet? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, if you really thought about it, what are you afraid of? And he thought a little bit, and he came to the conclusion that he was afraid of the judgment, of not living up to the standard that maybe people expect him to live up to. He was afraid of other people's opinions. And I just thought to myself, shit, you've been wanting this for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, actually since the age of 12, but you haven't taken action yet. And that fear has stopped you. Now, we all deal with this to a certain degree. I mean, even myself, when I started content, when I started my business, when I started getting into shape, like, there was always fear of the unknown, fear of taking action, fear of judgment. And I think if we break it down, we realize that, and I want to share an example, you'll realize that it's actually, the fear is pretty irrational. For example, right, let's say my brother creating content. Him creating content, right, and putting himself out there. It's like, okay, what are you afraid of? The judgment. Cool. Now, what's the worst thing that could happen, right? I don't know. They'll laugh at me. They'll think I'm shit. Okay, cool. And then you'll still be okay, right? Yeah, I will be. Now, what's the best thing that could happen? Man, I could change my life forever. I could create the life of my dreams. I can make an impact. I can create an amazing future for myself and my family. I can pursue the thing I've been putting off for so freaking long. And then I asked him, like, does the upside outweigh the downside? Yes, by far. So what are you waiting for? Because you're going to be afraid today, tomorrow. You're going to be afraid today, tomorrow, the next day, and a year from now, and in 10 years from now. The only difference is that at that point, you'll have lost 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years of your life. 10 years of not being where you could be. So you might as well just rip the Band-Aid off and get started. An analogy I like making is, for example, right, when we were a kid, I don't know if you guys ever jumped off a 3-meter board, for example. I was quite afraid of heights. And when I was up there, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. But the fear never changed. It was always the same. And sometimes I didn't jump and I went back down, right? And more time wasn't going to solve the fear. I went back up, was just as afraid. So it's like, you might as well just jump because you'll be afraid regardless. The only difference is that you have wasted time to overcome that fear. Even with asking out a girl, like, let's say you've never asked out a girl. Like, okay, at 10 years old, you're like, I'm going to wait until I'm 20. Then I'll be a man. If you've never done it, regardless, if you're 20, you'll still be afraid. Because why? We're afraid of the unknown, right? So you might as well just do it now. And back to like just breaking down what we're afraid of. It's like, cool. What if that does happen, right? What if they do laugh at you? So now what? Are you going to die? Are you going to be okay? And then the question just becomes, are you going to let that fear stop you from creating everything you want, from creating the life of your dreams? Because we all have fear. The difference between the people that make it and the people that don't is whether they let that fear stop them or not. So my question to you is, what are you going to take action today on? What are you going to do today that you're afraid of doing? When are you going to say enough is enough and confront the fear head on? How much longer are you going to put off asking out the girl, getting into shape, starting that business, starting creating content, starting public speaking? How much longer? Because we only have one life. And if you keep putting it off, the more you think about it, the more your brain's going to be like, fuck, safety is cool, let me not do it. But that's not what you want deep down, right? And I just want to say that I deal with this every single day. And I also I was reading the book, Storyteller's Secret, and they were just talking about a story, a very fascinating story. Just to make a long story short, a girl named Sarah became the first or youngest woman billionaire, and she was on Forbes and everything. And basically the way she got there was through persistence. And the way she learned that was through her father. At the dinner table, her father always shared or asked Sarah, what did you fail today? And I think that's so powerful because we have such a negative connotation with failure. And I think it's actually super necessary because in order to grow, we need to fail. And if you don't fail, you won't grow. So it's like, what did you fail today, Dom? And I think if you can ask yourself that every single day, what did you fail today? You'll keep growing and keep becoming better. So yeah, just to recap, just realizing that the fear is probably irrational. And even if it is valid, is it like, are you going to let that fear stop you from becoming the person you can become? And if you're going to do it eventually, you might as well do it now because the fear will be the same. The only difference is that at that point, you've wasted time and potential of where you could be. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you'll start taking action into the right direction because, yeah, if you don't, nothing will change. So I'll do my best on my end. I need to keep failing. I need to hold myself to the standard, but you do the same. I'll see you in the next one.